Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we're not even 24 hours into this thing that happened out there in New Orleans, Louisiana. Shout out New Orleans. Straight up terror attack by a coward by the name of Shamsud-dinjabbar, 42 years old. The guy was from Houston, where I'm at right now. Shout out Houston, and this guy right here, man, is something else. More information has come out. They're saying he didn't act alone. There are 3 men and 1 woman they're looking for that they found putting IEDs in various locations around the French Quarter. Now, they don't know who these people are. They're going through this man's house over there in North Houston right now. FBI and stuff investigating, but I'm going to tell you this. I can guarantee you in 72 to 96 hours, I'm going to say 72 hours, you can expect more people to surface. They got this guy before he could blow up his car, and this thing was choreographed where he drove all the way from Houston, what's that, 5.5 hours, 5 hours, and he was with other people. They said he rented this truck that he had from an app, and said, man, this whole thing, listen, y'all, listen. In 72 hours, you can probably expect some faces or names, or at least arrest, at least 1 person arrested. The FBI is on this. It's one of them things that they pissed off about. You're going to see names being mentioned, and you're going to start seeing faces if they don't have an arrest in 72 hours. I give it 72 hours before you start seeing people locked up. You know what I'm saying? But here's some more information. The first video you'll see that I put up talks a little bit more about the situation. And then the second video I want you guys to pay particular attention to, because it gives a lot of details that I myself didn't know, both about this guy and about the other people that they're looking for. They're not playing with this. They're going all out, and they're going to try to grab these people. They talking about they vowing to bring justice. Justice ain't incarceration. You know what I'm saying? It's death. The same death they inflicted on these innocent people need to be done to them. Take a look at this.
Now, the big question is, who were the other people that the FBI believes were involved in this attack? Where are they, and can police and law enforcement catch them?
And that's the hard part about it, and that's the part that has a lot of people concerned. The fact that we have investigators on video who say that they've seen these people place devices in different parts of the French Quarter. Luckily, they were able to recover these devices. The big question is, are there more? Did it go, and did they place them anywhere else throughout the city? And also, why New Orleans? If you're driving from Houston, which is a major city, a much larger city, and passing through other cities to get here, I'm wondering what made us a target here.
I don't know. That's a great question too. And you know, it doesn't appear that this suspect had any ties to New Orleans specifically.
Right.
We do know that he's a U.S. Army veteran. We're unsure whether or not he was honorably or dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Army. And the FBI said today that they're working to confirm those details about his background. We know that there is an active search underway and an active operation happening in Houston right now. As you know, investigators start to really look into Shamsud-dinjabbar, which is the suspect who now police say is deceased.
All right now you're getting a look at him. Apparently, I'm being told that this is from a 2020 arrest, a previous arrest, and if you can tell me, right, you know, from
Fort Bend County.
Fort Bend County, and near Houston. So this is from an arrest then, and not necessarily knowing exactly what this arrest was for, but it shows that he has had a previous history with law enforcement. And I think that we heard FBI say a little bit earlier that we don't know if he was honorably or dishonorably discharged from the military, but he is from Houston. He's he's a Houston resident, excuse me, and he was a part of the U.S. military. Whether he has any affiliation or connection to any terrorist organizations outside of our country, we're not aware of that. Or if we're looking at extremism or someone who is just a copycat. We don't necessarily know who this is.
Right.
And we're still waiting for more information regarding the attack that happened in Germany, which was horrific, which was a Christmas attack as well. People trying to figure out exactly who this person was and why he chose to attack this organization, to attack those people there.
Yeah, now the FBI did say in a statement earlier today that the flag that was on the back of the truck, it was on a PVC pipe flying in the back end of the pickup truck that was used in this attack, that it was an ISIS flag. Again, they're still trying to determine whether or not he had any direct association with that terrorist organization, or whether or not that was something that he, did on his own.
Right.
And now when I say did on his own, the FBI has said that they are confident that he did not act alone. Right. One of the reasons for that is what the AP, the Associated Press, has been reporting based on a Louisiana State Police law enforcement bulletin that said that law enforcement has seen at least 4 individuals placing those improvised explosive devices in areas of the French Quarter. And those 4 people are who they believe all carried out this attack and those IED placements. Now, that law enforcement bulletin also said that there were IEDs in coolers in the back of the vehicle that were found after he crashed into the vehicle and had a shootout with police that left him dead. There were coolers that were wired for remote detonation, and there was also a remote, apparently, according to the Associated Press's reporting, there was a remote found in that vehicle as well. So in theory, that would mean that he was hoping to get out and run at some point and then blow up that truck.
Right.
So the question now is, where are these other 3 people that may have been involved in this attack? Have police tracked them down? We know from talking, from talking to my law enforcement sources today, that they have been following leads all morning long in trying to track those people down. So I think that something that works in their favor, in investigators' favor in this case, is that you pretty much can't go anywhere in the French Quarter without being on camera.
Everywhere.
And there has been a concerted effort over the years to install high-definition cameras all over the quarter so that law enforcement agencies can track any suspects that commit any kind of crimes in our most populated area.
A perfect example of that.
An ISIS flag was located on the trailer hitch of the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations.
Good evening. We are following major breaking news as we come on air tonight. What's being investigated as an act of terrorism overnight in Louisiana, where a driver slammed his full-size pickup truck into a crowd of people in New Orleans' French Quarter, killing at least 10 and leaving dozens more hurt. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Burma. The attack happened around 3:15 in the morning on New Orleans' famous Bourbon Street. Here's the latest we know tonight. The driver has been identified as a 42-year-old American citizen. He died after exchanging gunfire with responding police. Police do not believe he acted alone. And in the wake of the attack, the Louisiana governor has issued an emergency declaration, and a college football playoff game, the Sugar Bowl, has been scheduled for tonight in New Orleans, has been now postponed in 24 hours.
All right, we have a team of reporters covering all angles of this breaking story tonight. Kendall Green will have more on the Sugar Bowl being postponed. Sharon Crowley is going to have reaction from here in New York. First, though, we go to Meredith Gorman with the latest from the newsroom. Meredith.
Hi, guys. The FBI has identified the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsud-dinjabbar, who is a U.S. citizen from Texas. They say they do not believe that he acted alone, with the Associated Press reporting that investigators have reviewed video footage showing 3 men and a woman placing explosives. An ISIS flag was found on the trailer hitch of the Ford truck that the suspect rented from car-sharing app Turo, that he drove into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street around 3:15 this morning before opening fire in the early hours of New Year's Day, killing at least 10 people and injuring dozens. Police say he drove onto the sidewalk, around a police car and steel barriers in the French Quarter before he was killed in a firefight with police at the scene. Authorities are calling for the public's help and asking anyone who may have interacted with Jabbar in the last 72 hours to come forward during this very active terrorism investigation as they investigate his ties to terrorist organizations.
We're asking anyone who has information, video, or pictures to provide it to the FBI. We have set up a digital tip line as well as our 1-800 number, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please provide us with any information that can assist us in this investigation.
Authorities confirm that multiple improvised explosive devices were found in the suspect's vehicle and around the French Quarter. The Associated Press saying that a Louisiana State Police bulletin shows that investigators found guns and pipe bombs that were concealed inside coolers that were wired for remote detonation with a remote control to set them off, found inside of the suspect's truck, and that law enforcement officers have shut down a road that is leading up to a mobile home residence in Houston, Texas, at the most recent address of the suspect. Officials now urging people to avoid the area as the investigation remains active and ongoing, with the French Quarter being swept for potential explosive devices. Authorities vowing that they will bring justice to the victims and anyone else responsible.
And as we know, this is not just an act of terrorism. This is evil. And when we face evil, we have a choice. We can run in fear, or we can indeed stand in strength. In a time of crisis, people are looking for leadership. You are looking at the leadership. And I promise you, as the chief of police of this city has been tried by fire before. But fire purifies. Fire makes things stronger. We have a plan. We know what to do.
The Sugar Bowl college football playoff game was set to be played tonight between Georgia and Notre Dame, but officials have now postponed it.